Have you ever wondered how an ad you saw on your phone just magically pops up on your laptop and then shows up again in your social media feed? Yeah, it's not magic. The entire way brands talk to us has totally changed. We've gone from a world of face-to-face handshakes to a digital world where brands are, well, pretty much everywhere. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the modern advertising playbook.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Think about how it used to be. It was pretty simple, right? You'd walk into a store, maybe talk to a salesperson, and that was it. The chances for a brand to talk to you were limited. But now, it's a completely different game. We're living inside what you could call a brand ecosystem. The influence is constant, it's pervasive, and it's hitting us on our phones, our computers, our smart TVs, everywhere.
So, how in the world do companies manage this crazy new landscape? Well, they've got a map, a kind of guide for your digital journey. And this map is called the sales funnel. Its entire job is to guide you step by step from the very first time you see a product all the way to becoming a loyal fan who tells all their friends about it. And here's a look at what that funnel actually looks like. The first thing you'll notice is that it's not a straight line, is it? It's a funnel for a reason. It starts out really wide at the top, trying to attract as many people as possible, and then it gets narrower and narrower at each stage, guiding the most interested people toward that final purchase and beyond. Let's break down exactly what's happening at each of these steps. All right, let's walk through it. It all kicks off with discovery. This is a brand just trying to grab your attention with an ad, maybe a social media post. Once they've got you hooked, you move into the consideration phase. This is where you start seeing those ads that seem to follow you all over the internet. Next up, the purchase stage. This is where they try to seal the deal with a special offer or a limited time sale. But wait, it's not over. Good brands then focus on retention, keeping you engaged through things like email newsletters or even WhatsApp groups. And the final, ultimate goal? Recommendation, getting you to love the product so much that you share it with your friends. Now, while that whole funnel is super important, there is one specific moment that has become the absolute battleground for modern brands. We're talking about those few critical seconds right when you type a question into a search engine. Just think about your own life for a second. Before you buy pretty much anything these days, what do? You Google it, right? You search for reviews, you compare prices, you look for alternatives. That little search bar has literally replaced the physical act of walking down the aisles in a store. It is the new digital storefront. And of course, Google actually came up with a name for this. They call it the Zero Moment of Truth, or ZMOT for short. It's that moment of online research that happens before you even decide to buy something, before you've ever even touched a physical product. This is where you form your opinions, this is where decisions get made, and understanding this has completely revolutionized marketing. And this image lays it out perfectly. First, you get a stimulus, an idea, a problem you need to solve. Then, boom, you hit the zero moment of truth, online, doing your research. Only after that do you get to what they call the first moment of truth, which is the actual purchase, and the second moment, which is your experience using the product. So you can see why winning that zero moment, well, it's everything. So how do you win that moment? You might think it's just about paying the most money for an ad, but it's actually not that simple. Google's ad auction is really more of a competition of relevance. Yeah, how much you're willing to bid matters, but so does the quality of your ad and how relevant it is to the person searching. The brand that does the best job of answering the customer's question is the one Google rewards. Okay, so winning that single search moment is absolutely crucial, but that's just one piece of a much, much bigger strategy. After winning that micro moment, brands want to zoom out and create a totally seamless world for you to live in. A world where their message feels the same no matter where you see it. This is the omnichannel experience. I mean, seriously, think about it. How does a brand manage to feel exactly the same on their Instagram as they do in your email inbox, on their website, and even in a physical store? How do they create that single, coherent personality across all those different places? Well, here's how. They build an omni-channel ecosystem, and you, the customer, are right there in the middle of it all. All around you is this connected web of touchpoints, social media, apps, their website, email, and they're all designed to work together to deliver one consistent, coherent message about who that brand is. And a super important piece of this whole ecosystem is something called a landing page. See, after you click on an ad, you usually don't just get sent to a company's generic homepage. No way. You're taken to a very specific page that was built to do one thing and one thing only: get you to take action. Whether it's to buy a product, sign up for a newsletter, its job is to turn your interest into a conversion. All right, let's talk about the final, and you could argue the most human piece of this whole digital puzzle. We've talked about funnels, we've talked about algorithms, but what about simple trust? That's where the modern version of word of mouth advertising comes into play. Influencers. Influencers have become a massive part of this whole strategy. They're basically the celebrities of their specific niche, and brands pay them to be a trusted voice. And there's an influencer for every possible interest you can imagine. They command huge chunks of marketing budgets for one simple reason. They are amazing at driving that final, all-important recommendation stage of the funnel that we talked about earlier. So, when you boil it all down, after all this complexity, what's the real key to success in this modern advertising world? It's content. The web is where we all go right after we click, when we're in that I want to know micro moment. Being the one to provide valuable, relevant, helpful content at that exact second, that's how you win. So there you have it. From the sales funnel that guides your every move, to the massive battle for your attention in the search bar, to the influencers who help shape your final decisions, you now have the playbook. The next time you find yourself scrolling, searching, and clicking, I wonder, how will you see your own online journey?